All right, class, let's go ahead and get started. Today, we are going to be working on one of many division strategies. This strategy could make it easier for you to solve division problems. Not every strategy works for every person, so you need to pick and choose which strategy works for you. So let's go ahead and get started. The name of this strategy is the box method strategy. All right, the box method strategy. And a problem that I would like to solve today. All right, let's get ready for it. The problem I would like to solve today is 480 divided by 12. All right, so again, we're going to be solving this problem using the box method. I set up the problem as if I was going to do long division or partial quotient. But the reason why I displayed the problem such as this is because most of the time when you see division problems, you see it either this way or this way. All right. But you would not see either way in this strategy. To begin this strategy, step one, draw a rectangular box. You want to draw it pretty big because you're going to be doing some math workouts inside of this rectangle. And it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's your best. All right, next thing I'm going to do is, before I do this, I want to give you all some vocabulary terms. This 12 right here, there's a name for it. And let's see if I can change the color without difficulties. All right, I'm going to circle it with the color just so you know which one I'm talking about. So this one right here, the number 12 is what we call a divisor. Okay, and I want to go and change this color again. I'm going to change it to green. Let's see. All right. And the number right here that I'm going to underline, which is 480, that is called the dividend. And remember the dividend. And to give a quick explanation, the dividend is the total number that you're going to take and divide evenly. So in other words, another way to look at it is this problem is telling you to take 480, whatever you want it to be, 480 cars, 480 pencils, 480 balloons. They want you to take that 480, whatever it is, and divide it evenly into 12 groups. All right? So you're going to take a total of items and divide them evenly into 12 groups. Now, to actually do that takes a lot of work. That's why we are doing the math. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my original color, which is red. And I'm going to put the divisor here on the side. My divisor is 12. Now, I'm going to split this rectangular box into 3 groups. Now, the groups are not going to represent my total, which is 480, but it's giving me the option to do multiple workouts. But before I start my workout, I want to create something here on the side that can assist me. And I am going to change the color. Let me change it to blue. And on the side, I'm going to create a square, a pretty large square. Remember, if it's not even, it is okay. And this square is going to represent my toolbox. Now keep in mind, a toolbox, especially for a person that does manual work, meaning working on cars, an electrician, a plumber, they all have toolboxes. They all use toolboxes, and they use toolboxes to carry tools that will assist them in fixing whatever problem that they're presented with. So the way I'm going to create my toolbox is I'm going to take my divisor and I'm going to multiply it with, I'm going to start off with 1. And as we go, I'll explain the purpose of the toolbox. Now, first off, 12, in the case of the toolbox, 12, I'm using the divisor, but I'm going to use multiplication to help me solve this a lot easier. So in the case of creating a multiplication problem, this 12 is a factor, the 1 is a factor. But anytime I see the number 1 in multiplication, I want you to think of a mirror. And when a person looks in the mirror, they see themselves. The same thing with a number in multiplication. When a number looks into the mirror, it sees itself, which is 12. So now you have 12 and 1. And keep in mind, when you have two numbers that you're multiplying, these two numbers are called factors. Factors. You multiply factors to come up with an answer, which is also called the product in multiplication. Now, as you can see, the factor 12, will remain the same throughout my toolbox. The second factor, which is 1, in this case will change. Now, when you're creating a toolbox, I want you to keep this in mind. Double the factor, double the product. So double 1 is 2. So since I doubled my factor, I'm going to double my product, 24. All right. And I can continue down that path to help me. The toolbox is used so you get answers, or to help you multiply and use those answers or those products to help you solve your division problem. Double the factor, double the product. Now, one other thing I'm going to also show you, as you can see, my dividend. In your toolbox, you want to get as close to your dividend as possible without going over. Now, I can do double the factor, double the product all day, and this will help me in some of my workout. But your goal is you want to take a big chunk out of this 480 once you start doing your workout, and you will see what I mean. And one way I'm going to do this is, first, let me double this factor. Double 4 is 8. Double the product, 96. Now, this is what I mean. Use the power of 10 to help you do math mentally. I know that 12 times 1 is 12 because anytime a number looks in the mirror, it sees itself, which I did in this case as well. But the only thing is, I did 12 times 1, but what about this 0? Let's take this 0 and add it with your answer. And that's how easy it is to do mental math using the power of 10. So 12 times 10 is 120. And I can do the same thing here. Double the factor. Double 10 is 20. Double the product, 240. Okay? And I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going, for the most part, I'm going to show you how to do the box method. 480. I'm going to start with my dividend. All right? Always start with your dividend in the first box. Now I'm going to use the toolbox to help me work this out. Keep in mind, division is repeated subtraction. Again, division is repeated subtraction. And that's what the box method is, essentially. Repeated subtraction. So I'm going to start subtracting. I'm going to start with the largest answer. The largest answer in my toolbox, which is 240. And I'm going to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Now I'm going to take this 240. I'm going to move it to the next box. Now, I don't like to make things as easy on myself. If you look in your toolbox, we have an answer, product, which is 240. I could easily just subtract that. Oops, but one thing. How are we going to get our answer for division if we're only doing repeated subtraction? Let's step back. 240. I know that 12 times a number is 240. 12 times what number? 12 times 20. You will see where I go once I complete everything. Now, back to the square. I could do 240. I could subtract 240, and that will leave me with an answer of 0 and be done with the problem. But again, I'm not going to make it as easy on myself. So I'm going to do 120. Subtract 120. 0 minus 0, 0. 4 minus 2, 2. 2 minus 1, 1. So that leaves me with a difference of 120. The answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. Now I'm going to take that 120 and move it to this box. But before I start to do the workout here, I want to see 12 times what number gave me 120. 12 times 10. So I'm going to put that 10 above here. Each line that separates the boxes will be an addition sign. Okay? So now I'm going to subtract 120 from this box, which will give me a difference of 0. Once you hit 0, you're done with your workout. There are times where, yes, you are going to have some numbers. Those numbers that are left cannot be divided equally. So therefore, is what we call remainders. Remainders. So there are going to be times where you have a remainder. But 480 with no problem can be divided evenly 12 times. So I know that 12 times 10 is 120. Now, in order to finish this workout, what I'm going to do is, and let me change the color. I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to take these three numbers. 20 plus 10 plus 10. 20 plus 10 plus 10. 20 plus 10 plus 10. You don't have to write your addition problem like that. I was just doing it just so you understand my workout. 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0. 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4. So that means that my quotient, we did not discuss quotients. What is a quotient? A quotient is an answer to a division problem. So again, a quotient is an answer to a division problem. So again, my quotient is 40. Now, how do we know that we have the right answer? Well, that's a good question. How do we know? So in order to check your work, I'm going to take my answer, which is my quotient, to a division problem, and I'm going to do the opposite math to check to see if I get my dividend as an answer. So you take your answer, which is 40, multiply it by 12, which is your divisor. And you should, if you did the workout correctly, you should get your dividend, which is 480, as your product here. So 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 4, 8. Remember, when you're dealing with double-digit multiplication, you have to leave a placeholder in the ones place right here, because now you're moving over to the tens place to do your multiplication. So 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Now I can add. 0 plus 0, 0. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus nothing is 4. So that gives me a product of 480. So that matches my dividend. That means that my answer is correct. So hopefully this video helps you in solving large division problems such as so. And if you have any questions, you can always refer back to this video. If you want to review a step, make sure you rewind or fast forward in the video. But other than that, this is one of many division strategies that could possibly help you. Keep learning, and I will see you in the next video.